beside you at the beginning of the race?
Oh, heck, it's going to be quite scary up the front, really. That first corner I'm getting nervous about already. The more I think about it, it's best to think about something else.
Disarming honesty there from Will Sellis. Actually talked about slowing down. He starts off at the front of the grid. Eddie Bell next to him, Gavin Dawson and Peter Sharmack with the second row of the grid. Collins, Johnson, Houston and young Ant Pedersen make up the top 8. With me in the commentary booth are Mike, Eddie. Here we go for round 2. Mike on the front row of the grid, Sellers and Bell, and they are off. Not a bad start there, car 6-9, Eddie Bell.
Yeah, Will Sellers a little slow off the start. I think there's a little bit too much wheel spin once again. These guys are going to have to get used to starting these minis.
Yeah, well, of course, it's only the second round. Still a lot of work to do there. I wonder how nervous he is up at the front, Sellers, with that start, like he professed to before. Pretty tight running here at the start of the race. Here they are, heavy on the brakes, going line astern to that first big sweeper.
Ant Pedersen sneaking up the inside there of car 52. Looks like he might have got a good inside line there.
Fantastic bunching toward the back of the field. These guys definitely want to kind of grade themselves a few places in the melee that is the start of these races. Not a lot of fender bending. Oh, here we go, though. Bit of trouble there. Grant Milligan having a bit of a taste on the inside.
Yeah, Grant's really mixing it this weekend. There are 4 abreast there. That's great racing. Here comes Sharmack down the inside, out-braking Gavin Dawson.
And, of course, as we talked about before, Sharmack with a 50 kg penalty to try and equalise the racing. But he's got off to a great start as we're on board now with Gavin Dawson, car number 50. Looks like they're stretching out, though, finding their places in the field.
Sharmack's got a bit of experience down here, and he's going to drive a pretty competitive race, I imagine. He's a very experienced driver, as we all know. And the nature of the track, he will charge on. We'll watch out for Peter Sharmack in car 27.
So, Mike, what do you make of the fact these guys do get penalised for leading races and winning races? Is that fair and right?
Well, I think it's great, isn't it? You know, it keeps the whole class even. The whole idea is a one-make series, have even racing. And these fast guys, they've got experience. They'll be right up there. And it gives the other guys a chance to get on the front row and mix it with the big boys.
And, of course, it's all about close racing. That's what the crowd comes to see, although 1, 2, 3 has stretched out there. Eddie Bell still in the lead, followed by Sellers. And, of course, a Peter Sharmack. Bit of a tussle going on there for the lesser places, though.
Yeah, the back guys are really starting to bunch up. And what the nature of this track is, if you get a break, you generally can pull away. And if you're dicing with the car, it's going to slow you up.
On board now, car number 10, the green scooting car of Richard Moore, of course, has just come back from overseas. Mike, you can just see him at the tail of the field there.
Yeah, Richard Moore's our 14-year-old driver. He's just come back from Portugal. We raced in the World Rotex Championships in cars.
Yes, they've probably got a bit of jet lag going on there, but it seems to be putting up a reasonably good fight. On board now with Ant Pedersen, car number 96, of course, son of Paul Pedersen. Seems to be having a reasonably good time of it in the mini class, still sitting in 6th place, which is, of course, where he started on the grid.
Let's have a glimpse there of Gary Johnson, car 52. He's up top end of the field this round. He's enjoying a slightly more technical track.
And, of course, it is his home track, along with Grant Milligan, and to a degree, Eddie Bell, who hails from the North Canterbury region. Starting to stretch out a wee bit now. Maybe not the close racing we're expecting. Did you expect something like this, Mike?
Well, Ruapuna is a very technical track, and it's really important to get the apexes right, get the turn-ins right. Every gear change has to be exactly right. One slip up, and the whole fleet of minis are going to go past you. So I'd say these guys are settling in and really conserving their tyres to push on towards the later part of the race.
It's a matter of sitting and waiting for the next guy in front of you to make a mistake. That's how close this class is.
Well, the cars are so even, and when you've got some good drivers like we're seeing here, Brett Collins and the likes, it really takes a mistake for them to get through.
Of course, also being only the second round of the season, these guys are still getting used to their rides as well, and it's probably going to take a few races before they're completely committed to their setup.
It's funny how we're talking to the drivers between races, and a lot of drivers are trying different setups, and they're really all coming to the conclusion it's just the way you drive the cars. So I think what will happen is they'll get them to drive the cars harder.
On board with Gavin Dawson. Of course, Mike, it's a way to progress to different classes, because once you've mastered this, you can take the big boys on, probably with a little more alacrity.
The thing about driving a low-powered car is everything has to be technically perfect. And if you can learn in this feeder class...
He's turning into a tripod there. Sorry about that, Mike.
Yeah,
Heavy braking
off
there.
the ground. But what I was saying is if you learn to drive these cars quick, you know, when you get more power, it becomes a luxury. So you find these guys can go places learning their craft in this kind of form of racing.
And he's a bloke that's learning his class as well. Been following him around to Ant Pedersen. He's got someone growling down his back, but he seems to be holding it okay. His driving style, Mike?
You see, Ant went to the inside there. He's blocking. Probably some kart trips is coming out in the cars now. So you're going on a tighter line. It blocks the guy behind. What it does save you position, but it slows you up on the exit. And you can see that the cars are now pulling away. So Brett Collins there is pulling away, and it's going to be hard for Ants to catch up because he's really defending.
He's defending position, he's defending points. That's what you do in such a long series. And, of course, you don't want to push it too much. You don't want to end up on the grass here. It's pretty rough in the outfield, isn't it, Mike?
There's one thing, I was talking to the guys after qualifying, and they were trying their very hardest to get the fastest laps and running the curbs, and what it's actually ended up doing is denting rims and really altering suspension settings. So as we can see a car there going on the outside on the ripple strip, it's really affecting the handling of the cars.
Eddie Bell out of North Canterbury still holding the lead from Sellers and Sharmak. 1, 2, 3 in the first race of the second round of the mini challenge.
His leading three drivers are starting to pull away, and we've just come through on this lap. Looks like Eddie Bell's got the fastest lap of the day so far, a 1:40.005, which is in fact faster than his qualifying, so Eddie is on a big charge here.
Beautiful day for racing at Ruapuna as well. A good crowd turned out. Hot sun, that's what we want to see.
Look at these guys at the back. They're all trying to tuck into the draft.
Peterson and Johnston out on their own by 6 and 7. That's silver mini you see there. That's the Aucklander Anthony Houston, followed by the green mini of Richard Moore, also out of Auckland.
Yeah, Anthony Houston, this is his first ever season motor racing in the GJ Gardner's car. He drove some mini drive days with us, got the bug, bought a mini challenge car, and he's right up there in 8th position. So that's a great result for Tony.
And another delightful thing, purely aesthetically, these cars do look great. They've really gone to town with the livery. They're not all the same colours. They're really trying to stand out there.
You notice there we've got a wing on the back of these cars. The wing is adjustable, and the boys have been playing for adjustments on the wing. And they do make a difference on high-speed corners. Slow-speed corners like we're looking at now probably doesn't make much difference at all. But
like Richard Moore was trying a wee poke on the inside there. Didn't want to do any damage. Backed off a wee bit, but he's all over the back of Houston, isn't he? And following in is car number 3, Jeff Hogg.
Jeff Hogg's a long-time Porsche campaigner. He'll be trying hard to keep up these guys. He's got a point to prove.
And here's car 6-9. It is Eddie Bell. We're on board now with Gavin Dawson. This is the last lap of the first race of the second round of the mini challenge.
All Eddie Bell has to do here is keep it nice and steady.
The race is his to lose now. Oh, Dawson with a bit of off-road action there. Manages to keep it on the black stuff, though.
He's going to lose a lot of speed out of that. He's had a touch. Well, something's going on. I'm not sure what's happening here.
Brent Collins, looks like he's been passed. Yeah, Collins gave him a wee bump
last corner, last lap. Isn't that great? Brent Collins might have pulled off the move of the race there.
And in the black and white mini comes the black and white flag. Eddie Bell with the victory. And we'll just confirm those results. Will Sellers in second place, Sharmak in third, followed by Collins, Dawson, Peterson, Johnston and Houston.
Will at the first corner with relative ease, or was it a bit harder than what it looked?
No, I must admit I got a pretty good start, and we were thrashing the death out of the thing down there in the first corner, and yeah, I was actually really happy to make the first corner first, you know, so it's great, you know. For us, it's a home event, obviously. All our sponsors, We're Radiant Heating, Independent Fisheries, are all based here in Christchurch, so just satisfying to give back something to those guys that committed to us with a race win, finally my first in the class, so real happy, mate. Yeah, good.
Brent Collins pipped you there at the end?
Yeah, we had a good qualifying and qualified in third, which is much better than we expected. Excuse me, expected to go. And it's pretty hot out there, hottest we've seen all weekend. And at the end, the tyres start to go off if you push them too hard. And I was trying to keep up with Peter. And yeah, Brent sort of got me when I ran wide on the second to last corner and had a go. And that's pretty much it.
Eddie got the jump on me. He was half a car length going into the first corner. I thought I'll let him go there. And I tried to tag him behind him for a few laps, but just couldn't match his pace. And Peter Sharmak was starting to catch me behind. I thought, no, I'm better to defend second place and just keep Peter behind me. So I sort of just protected that spot.
Coming up after the break, more white knuckle action from Ruapuna Powerbuilt Raceway as the mini challenge continues. And this next race, ladies and gentlemen, ow, check that out.
We're back with Martin Collins and Mini Challenge, and we're just trying to see what makes these little cars tick, Martin, and what better parts to start with than the brain.
Yeah, a lot of control in this class, Drakey, and one of the keys to it is the ECU, or the control unit, for those unfamiliar with it. This little thing controls all of the electronic functions of the engine and the car, and we change this for every race, every race meeting. So we take the original control unit out and replace it with one of ours. So we know that the ECUs are all the same.
Down here at ground level, and
the first thing that comes into my mind, Martin, is the size of the brakes for the little car.
Yeah, huge, Drakey. These rotors, APs, are 340 diameter, and to give you an idea of the difference here, with 340 versus a front on a V8 Supercar is 375, so they're huge for a small car. But bear in mind that at least 70% of the braking is done on the front wheels of these cars. Very road carish in here, apart from all of the input from the boys with the race bits. BMW Motorsport, they've got incredible history in touring cars, and they put all of that knowledge into these little cars. Good safe seats, nice roll cages, great belts in the cars. All the safety features are top notch.
So heading to all our visual components here, we've got the old analog gauges.
Yeah, isn't it great? It's traditional Mini, really, the big speedo in the middle of the dash that goes right back to the early cars, and they've retained it. It's just a great look. And who could ever question whether you're supposed to be doing 40 Ks in pit lane?
So I suppose not much left to really talk about the back of the car, but I mean, the old wing on the back, does that actually have any impact, or is that just sort of for looks?
No, it does have an impact. You can crank a fair bit of wing on it, and at Pukekohe, for instance, you can knock 4 or 5 Ks off the top speed of the car just by having full wing on it. So it does have an effect, but most guys choose to run no wing and just compromise a little bit of rear grip because of it.
And all this equates to a lap time around here of?
The top boys actually in qualifying yesterday broke into a 1 minute 39, which is exceptionally quick for one of these cars. Yeah.
And to give you an idea and compare it, I mean, a V8 touring car around here this weekend is sort of around about the 132, 133 mark, so that's pretty quick for a little car.
Not bad, is it?
Let's see how they line up for race 2. Top 6 reverse grid. Wayne Timms are leading the field. Brent Collins on the front row of the grid, followed by Sharmack and Dawson on the second row, with Bell Sellers, Peterson and Moore making up the top 8. Should be an interesting race, this one, Mike. The reverse grid, always exciting.
This will be a cracker. Look out for Wayne Timms on pole position, home track. He's looking for a good result. And away we go. It's a great clean start.
On board with Richard Moore, get a great view of the battles for the start there, and that's a wicked little start there from Anthony Hewson in the Silver Mini as the cars bunch up toward the end. Again, 3 or 4 abreast. Excellent start.
Oh, look, we're really close here, and tap. Whoa, look at this, sideways.
This is great car control from Collins, manages to keep it on there, and Sharmack helps out by bump. They're all going right. We're looking at 5 abreast here.
This is going to get very tricky in the next corner. What's going to happen here?
And looks like a bit of panel damage there somewhere. We're seeing bits of car flick off the show. Again, 2 or 3 wide. They really mean business, not like the first race was pretty much line astern.
Look here, they're all fanning out. There's a move coming up. It looks things, up the inside.
Race 1 winner, Eddie Bell, trying to sneak through. He doesn't do. He gets the door shut on by Collins, and Sharmack ever present on the outside there. This is much better than the first race. This is fender-bending stuff.
This is going to be interesting through this infield. They're very, very close. He's still 3 abreast. This is great racing.
Well, Collins doing a very good job. Of course, former TRS racer, former V8 racer, so he knows what it's like to be in the thick of the action. Sharmack there taking second place, but I tell you what, Eddie Bell will not lie down for this one. And breathing down Eddie's neck is Wayne Timms in the orange IDL car. Of course, he's a former New Zealand and South Island Mini 7 champion as well, so obviously very experienced in the smaller cars. Whoa!
Oh, that's a big crash. That's car 3. It's Jeff Hogg. He's gone in extremely hard. There's a lot of damage to that car.
Well, it looks like he's moving around, so he's A-OK, but that was a big shove there from Jeff Hogg. I might want to rewind the tape and have another look at that. Car 3 lying prone. Here we go. He gets a wee tap, and what happened there, Mike?
Well, it looks like Tony Houston, car 88, hasn't probably seen him come out the inside, has tagged the back left, and sends Jeff right into the tyres. There'd be no braking going on. He's gone in there extremely hard. I hope Jeff's all right on that one.
Yeah, a very scary moment there for Jeff Hogg as we go back to the start of the race as well, with Brent Collins all over the shop, somehow managing to keep that car on the road. This has been a very exciting race so far.
Yeah, Darcy, I didn't notice, but Peter Sharmack's taken a big bump in that front suspension, so we'll look how Peter progresses through the race.
Jeff Hogg's wreck's been cleared off the track. The safety car is gone, so we are back racing now at the Powerville Speedway on board with Ant Peterson in car 9-6. Another great start. We'd like to think just like the start of the second race.
The light's gone green. They're racing this time. And it looks like Will Stells is slow off the mark. Some of these drivers are struggling with the rules on the restart, so I think he might have just...
here's another one as well. Dawson involved yet again.
Dawson's given poor old Will Stells a big hit there.
So tell us about the rules on the restart. Some people struggling with them as you saw in the first round. What's the deal there, Mike?
There is confusion. Now, the rule states that the front car must not exceed 100 k's. When the light goes green, the field can go faster. But it looks like Will Sellers has held back on the pace, and that's, you know, it's not great. You should know the rules.
Eddie Bell there having a magic tussle with Wayne Timms. Right behind him, Sharmak familiar up the top of the field, and of course car 4-4 Brent Collins leading the charge in this second race at the Powerbolt Raceway. Now what's happened there? Car 6-9, there's trouble in the back. Something rubbing?
Yeah, it's tyre smoke. These guys have done a lot more rubbing than we first thought, and I had a little glimpse of Sharmak's rear tyre. That was quite badly buckled.
So it's a matter of keeping the cars on the track now. So a lot of panel damage, a lot of work to be done in the pits at the completion of this race.
Gavin Dawson, we saw there, he's right up on the back of Will Sellers.
Are we starting to see the class drivers coming through? I know we're only in round 2, but we're still seeing the familiar faces as more four-wheel drive action here at Ruapuna.
I think what we're seeing, Darcy, is people with racecraft are really starting to shine on a technical track. And there's one thing driving these cars around the track quickly, but learning a bit of racecraft is what they have to really start to concentrate on.
Well, as we heard earlier on the piece, it's a matter sometimes of buttoning off and not driving it like you pinched it to get the car around the track. Right, racecraft, that's what it's all about.
Yes, and you can see people like Brett Collins, you know, being a South Islander, he's done a lot of laps around Ruapuna, he's starting to shine here.
And the car's starting to stretch out a wee bit. Once bitten, twice shy. They don't want to get involved in the action earlier on in the piece. And here we see Peter Sharmak nicely around there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think what's happened, I think Peter has had some kind of suspension failure, and he's finding it very hard to get through his corners. And that's allowed Eddie Bell to go up the inside. That's a good move up the inside there. Eddie Bell moves up to second place.
Yeah, obviously problems there with Sharmak. You wouldn't expect them to concede that place just like that. But 3 cars now, very, very tight. The ever-present Wayne Timms, you've got to be impressed with this fella.
Wayne Timms has a great story. Yesterday was his daughter's wedding. He had to leave the racetrack in his race gear off to the wedding, and he's back there Sunday racing the top 3.
Always great battles at the tail of the field, and we're seeing here now 3 competitors, Moore, Grieger and Turton, have a real go at each other. Always great racing toward the tail, yeah, Mike?
Yeah, they're all trying hard, aren't they? And they're trying to pull moves on each other. And with all the bumping in the first part of the race, these guys are probably settling in and just trying to get to the finish now.
And someone who's definitely settling in, Sean Turton from Pukekohe. He's in the yellow PW Cars Pukekohe Mini, which of course stands out like the dog's proverbials.
Yeah, Sean's an interesting character. He's come from HQ Holdens, so he's got a few more gears to work out now. These are a 6-speed gearbox compared to the old 3-speed HQ.
Wonderful shot here, of course, Mike. This shows us the different lines that these drivers take around different tracks.
Yeah, Wayne Timms takes a slightly different line. There's a few different lines around Ruapuna, and what we've got here, we've got Gavin Dawson. He's coming to the pits here. We've just seen from race control, this is a drive-through penalty, and I believe it's for contact with car 2, Will Sellers.
And talking of Will Sellers, here he is in car 2, working his way back up the field, closely followed by Hawke's Bay competitor Gavin Yort.
Feel a bit sorry for Gavin Dawson. He was qualified really well, 3rd on the grid, and he's probably having a weekend to forget. A drive-through, he's going to be nowhere in this race, so he has to now look forward to the A1 meeting in Taupo in January.
You've got to remember, of course, this is not stock car racing. They don't really want guys going bumper to bumper. Good close racing, but not too much. Paying the penalty, that's understandable.
Yeah, they're starting to feel their way into it, but you can really see the gloves have come off in this round, and they're getting more confident with their driving, more used to the cars, and it's going to get closer and closer, Darcy, as the series goes on.
Mike, you've had a good look over the first couple of rounds of these drivers. For you, who do you think's favourite to take out title at the early stage, and who's the most improved driver so far?
Oh, $1 million question, Darcy. Put me on the spot. But, of course, Peter Sharmak with his European experience. Brett Collins, you know, he's an experienced driver, well known. Eddie Bell's the man I'm really looking out for. I'm really impressed how Eddie's going. In saying that, Eddie has just got the fastest lap of the day, a 1:39.69, and in fact that's faster than pole time. So late in the race, that is an amazing time.
Bit of tripod action back there as well from Wayne Timms as the race winds down. You can see there Brent Collins with a bit of collateral damage, if you will, from the very first lap of that, but he's still on track, and he's still on track to win this second race.
Eddie Bell's still chasing, look, he's not giving up. It's what you do, you chase right to the end.
And Peter Sharmak looks like he is going to hold on to this 3rd position as car 4-4. Collins comes in at number 1 place, and he does hang on to 3rd. Eddie Bell in 2nd place. Just confirming those results now. Brent Collins with the win there, very experienced Timaru driver. Eddie Bell with 2nd place. Sharmak in 3rd. Timms in 4th. The young campaigner Peterson in 5th. And Will Sellers doing well to work his way back up to 6th after being shunted early on in race 2.
Weedy Bell, that was a real challenge, that one.
Wasn't it, Shane, hey? That was, there's people all over the place there. She was hit and miss, and of course we had 2 laps under the safety car there, and it all seemed to start again. Everyone was just going crazy, so I think I'm quite happy actually to finish the race with a relatively straight car, mate, to be fair.
Well, Peter, plenty of action in that race, and you are lucky to finish.
Yeah, indeed. It was quite a hard start, you know, and at the first corner we came together with 3 cars. Somebody turned Collins to the inside, so he came over to my side. He touched my rear wheel, my rims got broken, and it bent the whole toe at the rear, you know, and afterwards it was not easy to handle the car. I'm very lucky to make the finish, you know.
Man, there's some carnage in that race. Even ourselves going into the first corner, and guys just do not use their brakes, and then drilling into the back of me, and even Peter Sharmack and I had a good touch coming out, but it's quite handy, so I thank Peter Sharmack for actually straightening me up and getting me going again. It was all good.
Not all good, though, was the weather. Unfortunately, the third race was cancelled due to the rain. So here's the state of the mini challenge after the first 2 rounds. Dead even at the top of the field, Eddie Bell and Peter Sharmack. You can almost throw a blanket over the first 7 competitors. That's how close this series is going to be. Well, only 2 races, but the second one, what an absolute cracker. Promise of more to come. Next round, we're going to Taupo as part of the A1 GP. Look forward to seeing you there.